Joining us now is former NFL All-Pro and Cougar legend Chad Leapin-Lewis. Chad, welcome to BYU Sports Nation.
Thank you. Love your conversation. Just win, baby. That's what it's all about.
Just fun, just win, man. 1 point more. Great, let's go. End the losing streak to Utah. So with that in mind, well, actually, I want to point out something. Chad is wearing an exclusive BYU Sports Nation Stay Loyal to the Royals.
Yeah, these things
sweatshirt.
are hot right here. So if you want one of these, you better get going. They're flying off the shelves.
One of 25 right now.
Really, it's just keeping you warm, and that's most important, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, no, you are welcome. Okay, now to the Twitter question. You've heard our thoughts. What would a win for BYU tomorrow against Utah mean for this program?
It means a win versus Utah. This is your rival. This is one of the biggest games you play all year. We're lucky that it matched up this way, that we play them in a bowl game. It's a civil war. My brother played for Utah. I played for BYU. Without him playing there, I would have never played college football. So, and then my freshman year, they beat us with a 55-yard field goal at the end. We got in a fight. They were trying to tear down our goalposts. And out of nowhere, boom, my brother's on the field standing with me, making sure I don't get my head ripped off. It was nice. So blood's thicker than water. This game, it's real important for everyone. So it's not, the bigness of it isn't the 100th win. It's not that they're Power 5. It's that this is BYU versus Utah. This is your rival. This is why you play the game. They've got 4 on us. And to win this game, it takes execution and perfect fundamentals. Don't get all crazy. Don't live outside of your own mind. Play the game. Execute. Make your plays one after another all the way to the end of the game.
Listen, are you going to give a pregame speech tomorrow? Because I would highly encourage you.
I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah, I love our guys. I love our team. I love our guys. I love our coaches. This has been fun to be with them, see this. It was extraordinary to go from Taysom getting hurt with the Liz Frank and see this team and staff rally around each other and buckle up and buckle down and just fight through the season. There's been some ups and downs, but what they did this year was remarkable.
Absolutely.
So
that's a great word for it. Yeah.
It's been a wild season in many accounts. All this discussion, you talked about it. In the end, it's just BYU and Utah. We're talking big picture, but once that ball is kicked off, what do you think the atmosphere is going to be like?
It'll be wild for the first few minutes. And those are the first few minutes you need to hunker down as a player. Don't lose your mind. Don't do something stupid. Do not get baited into getting a personal foul, because those personal fouls in rivalry games are costly. Don't do that. So keep your wits about you. Strike first, strike hard. No mercy, sir. Keep going. But those first few minutes, they're key to BYU football. You come out with a mental edge. You cannot be touched. You can't be derailed from what you're trying to get done. You definitely match emotion with emotion. So you don't tiptoe into that game and get jacked in the mouth and wonder, what happened? Well, these guys really want it. You go and you kick the door down and you fight as hard as you can from the very first snap until the very last snap. So you're not surprised by the power of the emotion of this game. You match it, but you keep your wits about you when you're going through that.
When we look at the way Utah plays, they remind me of Michigan in the way that they play man-to-man, the way that they're physical. Will that experience and how bad it was maybe help BYU in this game?
It will only help BYU if we've proven to ourselves in practice and games that we can get open in tough man-to-man coverage. I've looked at the tape. I think our coaches have done a good job of calling, I think Robert's done a great job of mixing it up with draws, with crossing routes, with some verticals. I think it's really been good. I think as players, we can be more effective at getting separation at the move point. That's where the game is won. So you can do all the fancy stuff you want, but if you're not getting separation where you need to get separation, then there's nowhere for Tanner to throw the ball. So that, for our receivers and backs, is critical in this game.
You're a pass catcher, so I know you're partial to the guys that catch the ball and need to get open on the outside, but are there any other position matchups between BYU and Utah that you'll be watching for specifically tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm watching our run game. Algie Brown, Francis Bernard. That's critical to playing Utah and playing Utah well. They want to stop the run, force you to pass, bring the heat. Kyle Whittingham's done an incredible job as a coach over the years doing exactly that. So our run game, offensive line, running backs, receivers blocking down the field, you got to bring the physicality to this bowl game. And so it'll be cool to watch the matchups with these running backs if they're driving for extra yards, protecting the football, and if the receivers are busting people loose with great blocks. And then the effort of the offensive line, that is where football games are won. So I hope that our offensive line has some nasty edge and a chip on their shoulder, and they're saying, I want to prove to myself, my mom and dad, my coaches, my teammates, and Utah that I'm ready for this game. Because when the clock goes 0 tomorrow, whether it's several overtimes or not, when it goes 0, the team that wants it the most wins the game.
Is Squally Canada the not-so-secret weapon?
I think it'll be fun to watch him play. It'll be difficult because he hasn't been carrying the rock in regular season games with people trying to strip that football. So if he can do what he's done in practice, don't do anything more. Don't do anything crazy. Just do what you've done in practice. That will be sufficient. He runs very hard. He's got an attitude when he runs. He's got some speed and shiftiness, power to and through the hole. I'm hoping that he has a great game, and more than anything that he holds on to the football. That's number one for me. Just take care of the football, and you're going to be just fine.
BYU football legend Chad Lewis with us on BYU Sports Nation. You've talked a little bit about some of your experiences that you've had as a player in this BYU-Utah game. Now you're in a position where you're part of the staff or administration and in a different role. So how has the bowl game experience preparing for this rivalry been different for you this time around?
This time around has been different. When I pulled up into town, my father-in-law, he passed away. Doug Fellows, my absolute hero. I love him. And he's been very sick for the last year and a half. It was definitely his time to go. And when I drove into town, we were with him for about 2 hours before he took his last breath. So this bowl game for me is way different. I'm going to miss Doug, and I'm grateful for his example. So sorry to pull it away from football, but this bowl game is totally different for me.
Your name has come up recently in the coaching search and whatnot. Are you interested in coaching in the future?
In any capacity?
I think about it sometimes. It's fun to coach. It's fun to be a part of football. It's fun to be with the guys and share the knowledge that you've learned. It's so important. Timing is important. All that stuff's important. I think it's very impressive what our coaches have done over the last several years. How many bowl games in a row? 11?
11.
That's crazy. The consistency with winning. I'm telling you, head coaches in college or pro will beg, borrow, steal, and kill to win 8, 9, 10 games. And we've done that consistently. Hats off to Bronco and his staff to just fight through the ups and downs, injuries, everything that comes with football, and keep winning. That's really cool.
What kind of a situation, whoever the new coach is, does this guy and his staff walk into now the Bronco Mendenhall is leading?
They walk into a team loaded with talent. They've done a great job assembling guys. And so you got Tanner Mangum, you got Fred, you got so many great players. So the cupboard is full of good players. There's great recruits that we need to get after quick so they don't go somewhere else. But BYU is an extraordinary place to play football. I've played in college and pro, as you know. It's different other places. This locker room, this atmosphere at Brigham Young University is the coolest place to play football in the solar system. So
thank you for saying solar system on the heels of Star Wars.
That's right. That's
in the
right.
galaxy.
So I think when people play here, when they get to either coach or play, this is a special place. When you take the field and you have a BYU, a Y on your helmet, on your chest, it means so much. That's the gift of playing at BYU. It is special and it runs deep.
And when you see Utah on the other side, I can't think of a more exciting moment. Tight end, Remington Peck, there's a tight end that plays for BYU and they throw the ball to him sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? And what do you think of his passing touchdown?
For the last 4 years, I've been in Remington Peck's ear saying, bro, I want you to do something this game that gets you on SportsCenter top 10. Is that cool? All these years, nothing. And all of a sudden, boom, he's made tight end. He's throwing touchdowns. I'm like, bro, is that what it took to get you on the offensive side of the ball, to get you on SportsCenter top 10? Come on, man.
They just had to let him drop his own play.
Oh, my gosh. He's done a good job. I mean, he's not killing people with his routes, but he's running effective routes. And he's done a great job catching the ball. He's a sure-handed guy, and you know, he catches the ball, tucks it away. He's a big body with a big booty, and he's running that thing down the field. I love it. So I love to see him out there playing ball. He's a fun guy. He's real coachable. He's a good leader on the team. I'd love to see him have a great game tomorrow.
Could you throw a dime like that in your playing days that he threw to Taryn Houck?
That was a nice ball.
It was a good pass. It was right
Good
on the
fall
money.
through, good arc, boom, everything. I mean, you can't get better than that. So,
At Glemonade 11, at 18, Clue 89.
see Lou.
C. Lou, bringing it hard on BYU Sports Nation. Make me want to hit something or someone fired up.
Get out of your living room and hit someone then. That's what I say.
It's probably at work. That's probably not going to be an HR.
Get back to work.
Okay, we'll end with this, Chad. As a guy who went through a Liz Frank injury, and Taysom Hill has gone through that and is recovering from it, and Craig Bills has gone through that and is recovering from it.
I want to talk to those Nixon sisters. What is going on? They're contagious. What is up?
What is that
David?
recovery process like?
It's long. It's hard. They told me the second it happened, this is the big one. I don't know if you'll ever come back. It will take a year, and you try and do what you can to speed that thing up, but your foot is saying, bro, this is a year. And so when you start running, I mean, Craig just signed with the Eagles. He went out and had his workout the next day. He was so sore he couldn't walk. I've lived that. And I've been on, talking with Craig this morning about trying to get that thing better as fast as possible to get with the Eagles this season. I hope he can. It's weird to see how, you wish as a player it was just a broken bone. Give me 6 weeks and I'm back up to full speed. But a Liz Frank is such a crucial tiny ligament. It holds the spring of your whole energy system in your foot. And when that thing goes, it takes a little while. So Taysom's watching Craig, so he's knowing about his same time frame. Taysom heals like a monster beast, though. So I'll be excited to see if he can get ready March, April, if he's going to go pro or what he's going to do. See how fast that thing comes. It will come. Just take some time.
Just a matter of time. Chad Lewis in the royal blue sweatshirt, BYU in the royal blue uniforms tomorrow against Utah. What does that mean to you when you see that team, not just with the stretch wide run out, but run out on a field in the royal blue uniforms?
There's just something about a football player that when you take the field and it's your team and it happens to be in royal and it happens to be against Utah and you know what it takes to slam your human body up against someone else's human body and fight like crazy to win the game, just to show up and see the pageantry of college football, to know what's at stake, it is so cool. That's why everyone's coming down to Vegas. That's why millions of people are going to watch this game, because it matters. It's cool.
Staying loyal to the royal. Chad Lewis with us on BYU Sports Nation. How about a nice hand for Chad Lewis for those in attendance?
Yeah.
I think you have motivated the people to a new level now, Chad.
You going to jump in with me?
Hey, it's Friday. It doesn't matter. It's tomorrow at 12:30. That's when it counts.
Do you want to jump in with me later?
Definitely will think about it. I'm a polar bear plunge type of guy, so my kids might be with you. What time? What time are you doing it?
In about 20 minutes.
Let's get some
25
retweets.
minutes.
Let's go. I might be here with you.
I've had like 300 retweets. We're doing
So
it.
you're good. All right.
It's over.